Yo, what is going on, boys? Snipes here. We're back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about the MLB The Show 23 tech test. It is now the 21st past 10 a.m. and the tech test is officially closed. So in this video, I want to give you guys all of my thoughts, everything that I noticed in the tech test, some differences, the good and the bad. I want to cover all of that. Overall, to be honest with you, it was a good experience, and it really got me excited for the game. We've also got some news coming out this week. We're going to cover all of that. So if you guys are new right here, be sure to subscribe to the channel and leave a like if you guys enjoyed it. Okay, so first things first, they released this little schedule. I believe they came out with it on Saturday or Sunday. I'm not sure, but it is now Tuesday, February 21st. The tech test is officially closed. Tomorrow, Wednesday, February 22nd, we get a new legend reveal. So far, they have revealed one legend. You guys are going to want to pay attention to these legends because a lot of these guys are probably going to be collection rewards. I'm taking a wild guess that Ian Kinsler is probably going to be the Texas Rangers collection reward. And since Jacob deGrom is now a part of that collection, I feel like Ian Kinsler is going to be a really good second baseman in this game. And then Thursday, February 23rd, I feel like this is going to be the day that we get a really big legend because they like to reveal those big legends on their streams. So the 23rd, we've got the feature premiere, which is going to go over, we're not really sure just yet, but they're probably going to go over, I don't know, maybe franchise, maybe some Diamond Dynasty stuff. Probably not Diamond Dynasty, though, because they like to wait until right before the game comes out to cover all of that. And then, yeah, I think it's probably going to be like franchise, Road to the Show, maybe stuff like that, and maybe some storyline stuff. And then right underneath that, we've got a new legend reveal. They're going to reveal this legend at the very end of the feature premiere. Usually they cover everything, and then they have a little preview of the new legend that will be revealed. And since it is a feature premiere, I feel like this legend will be a big legend. So be sure to tune in on that stream, at least catch it on the end so you guys can see who the new legend's gonna be. If you guys have predictions on these new legends, let me know down in the comments. I'm curious to see who you guys think it might be. All right, so jumping into the tech test, let's go over everything that I noticed here. The first thing that I want to cover is ranked co-op. This is ranked seasons but co-op. This is a new feature that will be introduced in the game for 23. I did get a chance to play a couple co-op games, and let's start off by saying I'm very excited for ranked seasons and co-op. I think this is going to give people more of a reason to play co-op. In 22, we did have co-op, but there was no real reason to play it other than just have fun. And there was really no competitive part of that mode. I never jumped into co-op and had a lot of issues with players that were really good because there was no matchmaking system built in. Now we've got co-op ranked seasons, and I think that co-op's going to get really interesting this year. We're going to have a lot of people out there that are going to be grinding this game with their friends, and they're going to get up to those higher ratings, and it's going to be interesting to see how good some of these co-op teams can get in those higher ratings. So yeah, ranked co-op, if it works, is going to be a dub this year. Now let's talk about my experience in the gameplay. You guys, I made a video on the ranked co-op and how it is and how it plays, and I played 2 games and I got in a freeze off in both of those games. Now last year in MLB The Show 22, we had similar problems. We had a lot of issues with we'll kind of show you right here. I'm not sure if it's going to do it, but you would jump into the matchmaking and you'd invite a friend or find teammates, whatever, and then you'd go to create your lineup and everything would just freeze up. It was just really buggy. You'd get somebody, you would join in with somebody and then it immediately kick them out. Like, that was still going on in the tech test. And then once you got into a game, oh my goodness, I never got past the 3rd inning. And it's not because of people quitting, it's none of that. I got in a freeze off every single time I got into a co-op game. Yes, there was a couple games here and there that people did quit out, but usually when people quit out, the game ends much quicker than what it did, as opposed to a freeze off. I would get hit by a pitch or something. I would get a hit, and then all of a sudden the game would just freeze. If we want to play ranked co-op, I'm going to tell you this right now. People are going to want to play ranked co-op much more this year than what they did last year. And SDS, we gotta fix the co-op mode because it's broken right now. Another thing we noticed is the lineup screen. The lineup screen is a little bit different. We like the UI. I like the way everything looks here. We've got a whole entire screen dedicated just to looking at your lineup, your bench, and your starting pitchers and your bullpen. Now, if you go over a tab, that's where you can set your batting order and all that stuff. I like this. It makes things a little more organized. It gives you a little more room to work with things. I like the looks of this. Next thing we notice, and this is a big one, Shohei Ohtani and all two-way players have the option to pitch, play DH, and play in the field. Now, this is going to make Shohei Ohtani cards some of the best cards in the game. We can put Shohei Ohtani here at DH, or I can move him over to a secondary position and put him in right field as a live series starting pitching card. As long as they have that secondary position to play anywhere in the field, they are able to play that position, and you can also pitch with them during that game as well. So a good example, I say I wanted to start this game with Shohei Ohtani out in right field, right? If we go to select our pitcher, Shohei Ohtani will show as a 6th option in the menu, and I can choose him to be our pitcher and somebody else will play right field. So yeah, really excited about that. This made Shohei Ohtani cards shoot through the roof when it comes to value, and you're gonna see him a lot more this year, especially when he gets that in-game 99 overall card. Now, this is also gonna make you think, Shohei Ohtani, he's not gonna be the only two-way player that goes into this game. There's going to be other cards out there. Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth was a pitcher at one point, and he was a two-way player. Do we see a 99 overall in-game Babe Ruth that can throw 102 as a lefty and play first and outfield? We've never seen that before in this game, and it'd be very interesting to see. With the Negro Leagues being introduced into the game, that Martin Dihigo, that Bob Kendrick was talking about, how he could play every single position, he's going to get a two-way card, and he's going to be able to be a pitcher and play, I don't know about every position, but most of the positions out there, including pitcher. So yes, the two-way player is now going to be a huge factor in the game, and I feel like it's going to make Diamond Dynasty very interesting. It's going to change a lot of things. Another big change, of course, the DH is now being introduced into Diamond Dynasty. I don't think we've ever had this in Diamond Dynasty. We always have that option to use a pitcher at the end. Now we have the option to fill out our entire team with 99 overall great hitters from 1 to 9. No pitchers anymore, just a DH, and we love to see that. I'm a big fan of that. Okay, so now I want to talk about gameplay, what we noticed, some differences here and there, and the first thing we're going to start with is defense. Defensively, I didn't notice anything real different. The pinpoint pitching is the same as what it's been the past 2 years. I didn't notice anything there. So we can see here things look a little bit different when it comes to feedback. We'll see it here in a second. But Randy Johnson just threw a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, by the way. Just so you guys know, it's not in this video, but there is a way to throw a 103-mile-an-hour fastball now. Yes, you heard that right. There are going to be pitchers out here throwing 103-mile-per-hour fastballs, and that is something we have never seen. We get a good look there at the new throwing mechanic. I got very lucky with that throw. I did notice with the throwing, even on normal throws in the infield, you got to hold that down, or that button down, just a little bit longer than what we're used to in 22. So that eventually we all will get used to it, but it's going to take some getting used to at first, because you do have to hold down that button a little bit longer, even if it is just a normal throw. Now, as we can see here on the left hand side, the feedback looks a little bit different. The UI has been changed just a little bit, but like I said, defensively, the big thing is throwing the baseball. The throwing is going to be very tough this year, and like I said, once we get used to it, it's going to be like how pinpoint was when it first got introduced. At first, it was very, very tough, but we all eventually adjusted and got used to it. But if I could just throw out any advice right now, just hold that button down a little bit longer than what you're used to, and you should be able to be fine. Okay, so now we're on the offensive side of things, and as you can see, we're using this new PCI, which is a bat with a little dot right in the middle. Exciting, new, cool to see. But me personally, I am not a fan of this PCI. I tried it out and I cannot stand it. I feel like it just takes up way too much space. Maybe in higher difficulties, Hall of Fame, World Series, I don't know. Might be a little bit better, but I was not a big fan of that PCI. I did notice that the sound of the bat obviously is different. The perfect sound is about the same, but every other hit when you hit the ball sounds different. Sounds a little more realistic. Actually sounds like you're like watching the actual game live. So yeah, one thing that I did notice, you're gonna see it right here from Randy Johnson. The umpires in this are very inconsistent. Watch this pitch right here. Usually that's a ball, right? They called that a strike. I got another one coming up here in a minute I want to show you. I don't know if it's just the tech test or if it's just how casual mode is, but the umpires strike calling is not good. It's questionable, very questionable. And I kind of remember this in the MLB The Show 22 tech test. I feel like that was a thing, so hopefully that'll get fixed once the game actually comes out. Also, I do want to throw this out there. A lot of people don't know this. If you felt like in the tech test you were very late on everything, it's probably because you are used to playing at 120 hertz all year long. This tech test was at 60 hertz. So I didn't realize that until like the last day. This tech test was at 60 hertz and I was late on everything. You could probably see it here in this gameplay. And I thought it was me. I thought something changed in the game. No, it's because the game is actually playing at 60 hertz. Obviously, when the real game drops, that 120 hertz will be there. We did notice in the tech test that foul balls are a thing of the past. They're not like they were in MLB The Show 22. 22, you could have a 15 pitch AB and foul off 10 pitches. That's another one right there. That should have been a strike and it was called a ball. So that's what I mean by the inconsistent umpire calling. But before we're done, I wanted to show you guys this. I was trying to get gameplay of me throwing a 103-mile-an-hour fastball. I couldn't get that, but I did find something else. Watch out for these types of players early on in the year. You're going to get this a lot. You're going to get people that are going to be butt cheesing the crap out of this game because not everybody knows how to perfect this throwing mechanic just yet. And look at me mess up right there. I had to hold down that button for a very long time to make that throw. You're going to be getting a lot of players like this because they know most people out there don't know the throwing mechanic yet. So practice that throwing mechanic as much as you can when this game comes out and make sure you perfect it because that's going to be the biggest challenge defensively for everybody. Yeah, guys, those are my big takeaways. Let me know down in the comments if I missed anything. Let me know if you guys noticed anything in the tech test that you thought was an improvement or if you noticed something that was bad. And make sure you're giving feedback to SDS. They are sending out surveys. I believe it's on their site and you can let them know how your experience was with the tech test, what can be fixed and so on and so forth. If we get enough complaints, they're going to probably try to fix those things. So big week this week. Hopefully we get some cool new legends. Let me know down in the comments who you guys think it'll be. That's gonna be it for me, boys. I'm out of here. Peace.